Nation.
SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first, then you act.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Spartan Nation, where we now bring in the one, the only, the iconic wonder himself, the great one, Coach Chuck Grenier, legendary State of Michigan prep high school football and basketball coach. He's been a longtime Spartan Nation contributor, and he joins us for the good, the bad, and the ugly of Spartan basketball. Coach, they get the blowout win over Minnesota. They're back on track, back being who they are. A lot of good to talk about with this program.
Yeah, I think with the games, especially the game yesterday, you saw Israel bringing in a lot of the troops. And the bench played a lot yesterday, and I think that's important. You can't just keep playing that same group of players over and over again and not expect for them to hit the wall like they did those three games. And basically that's what it was. When Michigan State played down at Iowa, and if you remember that first half, Iowa was on fire and they were running energy. I mean, their energy was unbelievable for Iowa.
Coach, your phone keeps going in and out. Are you moving?
No. I think I just didn't get the phone up to where I should be.
Okay.
Okay. If you remember the game against Iowa, at Iowa had great energy and they were playing great defense in that first half. My nephew was up, and I said to him about halfway through that first half, I said, Iowa's playing great. Do you think they can maintain that? I don't think they can. And second half, they came out, and Iowa didn't play with the intensity and the energy they did in the first half, and we ended up coming back and winning that game. Well, that goes true for those last three losses for Michigan State, I think. The energy wasn't there. If you think about the game down in Illinois with Winston, it just seemed like he was mentally fatigued at that time and just making a lot of plays. 9 assists, 9 turnovers, I think he had in that game. It just takes a little bit of time for those guys to regroup, but they need to get those batteries recharged. And by Izzo playing a lot of kids, a lot of minutes yesterday against Minnesota, who really, in my opinion, didn't want to be in East Lansing, it really will help him in the future.
I agree. Coach, I want to talk about a couple of different guys that I think are just playing super well right now. How about Matt Mcquaid?
Well, the game that he had yesterday against Minnesota is the Matt Mcquaid we need to have for the rest of the year. He looked for a shot. Sometimes he forced looking for the shot, but he's got to be a scorer, and we just can't sit back and let Winston do it, and Kenny Goins do it occasionally, and somebody else add some baskets in there. McQuaid is key for the rest of the season. He needs to come out, and he needs to look to be a scorer. I know he's a great defensive player and a great team player, but he needs to be a scorer for us to continue to climb in the next few weeks.
I agree with you, Coach. I want to get into another guy again. We talk about him a lot, but I think you have to. Xavier Tillman.
Just steady. I mean, there's no other word. If he had an outside shot, I know it's made a purple from the outside, but when that young man develops an outside shot...
Coach, we lost you there twice. Again, one more time.
Okay, I believe he's just playing solid. He's got great defense, great rebounding, but when that young man develops an outside shot that has consistency, he is going to be just as dangerous as any center in the league. It's going to be really tough to play him.
Coach, one guy I want to talk to you about that no one's talking about, we are at Spartan Nation, but he continues to impress me when he gets minutes, is Thomas Kithier.
Oh, yes. Kithier, I think you got to play that young man a whole lot more than he's playing right now. I think when he goes in there, he doesn't, in Kithier's mind, when he goes in, I believe he doesn't think he's a shot trooper. And by a shot trooper, I mean is a guy just go in there and give somebody a blow. When Kithier goes in, he goes in to play. He's rebounding, he's running, and he's scoring the garbage baskets now. I think he had six or eight.
Yeah, six or eight.
Six yesterday. Yeah, 6 yesterday. But he's solid. You know, he made a few mistakes defensively. Lack of minutes. I think that kid is really going to be on the climb. I look for big things for him next year. I think a season in the weight room, another season learning the offense and the defense. I think he's going to be a major contributor next year.
We're talking to Coach Chuck Grenier, legendary State of Michigan high school football and basketball coach. Women love him, men fear him, puppies adore him, and clowns run in fear of him. He hides in the sewer drains of clowns. That's how strong this man is. Coach, I want to flip gears a little bit, but we're staying. I want to go now from a true freshman to an upperclassman. We talk about him every week because I don't think you could talk about him enough, Kenny Goins.
Well, it was good to see that Kenny came back in after he injured his elbow, and I don't know how serious that is. He did come in and play, and it did look like to me that he was favoring it in some respects. But he's a player that I think Xavier Tillman will be exactly like, and maybe less time than it took for Kenny Goins to be there. What I mean by less time is Kenny can score garbage inside. Kenny can play good defense. Kenny can rebound. But Kenny can shoot the ball a little bit from the outside. And I think Xavier Tillman is headed for that kind of player. And I think he's going to be better than
Coach, we lost you again. Coach, we lost you again.
It's got to be the weather up here. I think that I kind of like buzzing in and out. I'm not moving, holding the phone any different. But
okay.
I think Xavier Tillman is going to be the player that Kenny Goins is now, but I think Xavier is going to reach it a year or two before that. So I'm really anticipating Xavier to be a great player for Michigan State in the future, but Kenny Goins is just having a great year.
Coach, I want to talk about Nick Ward. We know that he can play at a high level. Against Minnesota, he had several NBA plays, but he had him with the GM of the Lakers in the house, but he had several bad games in a row. In talking to NBA people, they're looking to see consistency from Nick Ward. Is that what's going to determine whether or not he's an NBA first-round draft pick? Is consistency, or does he have more than just consistency to work on?
I think it's going to be the consistency and the willingness, and let's put it this way, the willingness to play under the hoop. And I think with that 3-game span that we lost those 3 games, maybe that mental immaturity that had plagued him before kind of sprang back, and he just wasn't willing to get under the hoop and just bang away again. And I think they reached him again and showed him that we're only a good team, we're only a great team if he's willing to get under the hoop with that consistency and bang away and force defenses to compress down on him. So I think from this game on out, this is where the future of Michigan State leads. If he can stay underneath there and bang away and play solid defense, play over the top when he needs to, I think we're going to go play far.
Coach, if you had to pick one guy as a key to this team making a long run in March, who's the guy?
Mcquaid. I think it's got to be Matt Mcquaid. and for the same reasons we talked about earlier, he's got to, at the first jump ball in every game, his mindset has got to be scoring. And if he can score, he can take so much pressure off of Winston. He can take so much pressure off of Ward. Those guys are going to play well, and they're going to do well. And then your other guys, your mop-up guys, Tillman, Goins, whoever else is going to be in there, Henry, those guys can have a better game too. But I think it's got to be Matt Mcquaid being a threat from outside.
Very good point. Coach, I'm going to give me a true or false. Tomorrow night in Madison, if Michigan State beats Wisconsin, they will at least tie for the Big Ten regular season title. If they lose, they will not. True or false?
I think true. I think true. And I think you're seeing that every game now in February. February is just a landmine month for Big Ten basketball. There's going to be upsets here and there all the time. Those other teams, those bottom feeders, they're getting better and better. As the season goes on, they're going better together. I think Illinois is going to be a real tough team in the future. But those bottom feeders and the season wearing on, I think there's going to be upsets along the line, and I think we're still really, really in the run for first place in the league.
I totally agree. He's the one and the only, the iconic wonder, Chuck Grenier. We'll be back. Wonder Chuck Grenier.